Hello, it's Sunday, time for just a bit of a chat and a bit of a gloss over the week so far. This is not a beer, this is Christmas mulled wine. It's not Christmas yet, I know, it's still November, but the father-in-law dropped this round a couple of days ago. Left it on the doorstep, wanted using it. I want it using. I put it in the gravy today, opened the bottle, used it in the gravy for the Sunday dinner, so still got a bit to drink. And it's okay, yeah, it's alright. It's got that Christmas thing going, the old cinnamon and spices and all that kind of malarkey. Beer wise, I've finished the Abbey beer. I got lucky on that really. Last night I drew a pint last night, a full pint on one of the big dimple pint glasses. And it got to the top and I was like, ooh, that sounds like it's about to go. I mean, there was a little noise, you know, when it goes. I'd just done it and it was like, I'm like, ooh, I'll leave that. So I had a full pint of that. That was it. This afternoon I decided to see where we were with it, and as soon as I put it, just froth and nothing, and it was like, yeah, bang on a pint there. That was good. So that's gone, so I'm down to just the Ruby, which is a good beer. It really is. If you ever get the chance to do the Ruby Mild, have a go with it. Do whatever you want with it, because as far as I've used it, it's come out, for what I did, it's come out absolutely lovely. I'm really enjoying it, and I think I'm at least a quarter, maybe a third through already. I only put it on a couple of days ago. It's just going down fast. Another reason why I've switched to this, just to hold out a sec. You'll probably see here the fermenter, or the grandfather one, the Wi-Fi special, is in the shed now, no longer in the kitchen, and that's because I need to get it chilled. It's on its final stage, cold crashing. I say cold crashing, it's not fucking crashing very fast, I'll be honest. Let's have a look. I don't know if you I'll try and get this down so you can see that. Blah blah blah. Will that focus? Focus. My nipple focus. I'm not sure if that's focused very well, but yeah, that's a 16.4 degrees at the minute. So it's dropping, but it's not dropping very. What can I do? It dropped very fast, but it's pretty cold in here. I have had a little bit of heating on in the last 5 minutes while I've been in to take the edge off that chill, but it's dropping, and it's got 1.5 days left apparently on its timer to sort that out. It's a fucking heavy thing, I'll be honest. It's very fucking heavy. I'm not sure. I've got it at the minute on, let me see that, it's on a bucket. I have to get it on, I guess, one of these stools for it to be able to transfer into a keg, because the height wise, I can't force it, otherwise I haven't got the equipment yet to pressure transfer, I believe is the phrase. So I can't pressure transfer, so I can't force it. I have to use gravity still. So I suppose it gets halfway down, I can then, it gets less in it, I can lift it, and that would do it. So it's a possibility I might look into. I'll do that at the time, in which case I can lift it onto here, my table. Yeah, we'll see with that one. What's been going on otherwise? I've got another beer on at the minute. We've had this discussion. This is a Wednesday, I think. I did the brew on Friday, didn't I? Yeah, so you probably won't know. I did a brew on Friday, just a simple, it was the spring ale one I said I was going to do, and I did do it. I had a right fuck up with that. Oh my god. I was going for it's a 70-minute boil, and I was going for a 20-minute whirlpool, sort of after the boil and everything, and just drop it down to 80 and whirlpool it for 20 minutes with some hops. I accidentally put the 20-minute time in the boil, so I came to going for the boil and it was set for 20 minutes, so I had to faff and change that. But obviously that fucked up the whole water profile for a start. Fucked up the water profile. It fucked up the amount of water needed for the mash, the amount of water needed for the sparge. It was all a fucking fuck up, basically. It came out, supposed to come out 1.046, I think, and it came out 1.060. So I chucked some water in, some extra water in to hopefully drop it. Oh, I got it down to about 1.048, I think I put. So I dropped that down, but I always think just adding water to it doesn't just dilute the alcohol, but dilutes the flavour as well. Personally, on that kind of idea, that's how I believe. I may be wrong, and you can tell me, and I'll be very happy to be told that, because as it stands, I think I've fucked this beer up with that, doing that. But I'm going to chuck some more hops in for a dry hop now. I'm using that, was it FIA, I think it is the or the Kiwi Pale Ale yeast that came from Cross Maloof. And I want to dry hop, oh, sorry, I keep touching the microphone when I rub that. I want to dry hop it, and I also want to do a top crop with it. And so I intend to top crop, I intend to let it do its thing with the Krausen at that point, with the CO2 coming through out of it. Sorry, that noise was my heater just keeping me warm. That's why that started kicking up again, the bubbling, because it's been heat. Where was it at? 16.4 degrees. I need to get it down to target temperature is 6 on here. It's bold of me. Yeah. So where was I? The bloody hell, I was done a roll there, wasn't I? About fucking hell, what was I talking about? Bear with me, I'll have a drink and I'll think about it while I drink. Yeah, so I want to top crop that beer, but obviously I like to let the CO2 go through the Krausen, drop down, and it goes from a Krausen like about that and drops down, and you get like a crust, as I like to call it, like a crust on the top of the FV, which is your yeast, because it's top fermenting, so the yeast that's still at the top is your best yeast, still the most liveliest, etc. As I believe. I may be wrong. Let me know in the comments. And so from there, I've done it again, I'm touching it. I'll top crop that when it turns to more of a crust. And then I'll dry hop. Because obviously by that point, the main fermentation is over. The vigorous, violent fermentation is over. Because I'm not doing any of that NEPA stuff at the minute, the biotransformation things. I'm making pale ales. I don't need a biotransformation for pale ales, so I'm not bothering with that. Yeah, so that's pretty much where I am at the minute. I've got one keg left on. This is the Ruby at the minute. The Abbey's gone, the Bojo juice is gone. This is just on Cold Crash now. The pale ale I've just put on is the 7 Dead in Idaho. Yeah, 7 Dead in Idaho. That's play on a Neil Young track, which is Ohio. The chorus is 4 Dead in Ohio, from when Nixon sent in the National Guard into the Ohio University, and they killed 4 students who were protesting the Vietnam War. Obviously, this is not Ohio. I'm using Idaho 7. So that's what spurred that thought. There isn't, well, maybe 7 dead in Idaho, you never know. Yeah, so that was that, really, for that beer name. Just because. Ruby, because it was a ruby mild. And Bojo Juice, because it was a bit fruity. Yeah, he's a bit fruity, isn't he, old Bojo? Alright, so that's the naming, and that's the chatter, and we'll go on to the Ruby for drunk that. We'll have a chat. How are you all coping with the old? I mean, this is lockdown 2, and I'm not really going out at all. The wife and I'll go for a walk once a week, really, when the kids are at. I say the kids are at school. The eldest is now having to self-isolate because school's been shut for a week and they all have to self-isolate. It's just gone a bit silly that way. The youngest is still at school again, though he was having to self-isolate a couple of before the lockdown, and so I'm not really getting out much other than to do shopping. The car's getting knackered at the minute. That's going in the garage on Tuesday. The wife's off tomorrow. We've got the youngest off and we're going for a walk. Not sure where yet. I mean, we have, thankfully, some great walks around here. There's the moorlands, we have the beach. We're very lucky with our environment. I'll be honest, I'd hate to live in a city or a town that's just so big that you just, wow, yeah. Lockdown must be pretty horrific in those situations, I can imagine. I know in summer, I used to think, wow, but you know, I say summer, April, May, when we had some really wonderful weather, I used to think, oh, wow, I've got the joy of going out in my garden. I have the joy of being able to walk within 10 minutes, getting onto the beach, and like I have 3-4 miles of golden sands to walk on, and there was no one there. Well, not absolutely no one, but very few people, because we were all in lockdown and it was wonderful. How are you all coping? I admit, I say I'm not going out a great deal, but I'm doing all right, I think. I may not be. Maybe I'm completely wrong. I'm making lots of beer. Here it is. That's the Ruby Mild. Making lots of beer. I haven't done anything with my train set. That's not a train set, is it? It's a model railway, really. I've not done a lot with that of late because I got pissed off at one point. I mean, a lot of you won't know I have a model railway, and I spent a bit of time doing it. And if you're on Libri, I put a few little bits on there, but not a great deal about it. But I did spend part of the earliest lockdown making dry stone walls, because mine's like a Yorkshire based, it's countryside, into small village town kind of things, and so I was doing dry stone walls, and I was using cat litter, literally piece by piece, with tweezers, gluing it on and building these walls, and they were fantastic. I got to a point where I was looking at it and going, yeah, I'd be very proud of that if I'd built that in real life. Me. And then I went to test the trains and the carriages on that section of track. It's based in 1970s stroke 80s, so it's HST, which is Intercity 125, mostly, the old Intercity logo, blue with the white arrow things. You'll remember it. But it was the Intercity 125 was going past that point. That's the track that's on, and the carriages for it hit the wall around the bend. So I had to take down the wall. It was like 4 or 5 hours of work I had to take off and just, I say 4 or 5, maybe longer. I had to just destroy and restart, and I was just like desolate about it. But I have started to put it back together, and then I just like, you know what, I've lost patience with this. I'm going to walk away for a while. I haven't gone back to it for yet. Yeah, winter's the time really for the model train shit and modelling and that, I think. Gets to summer and that, and it's too hot up in the Arctic, and you want to be out anyway. Saying that, winter's too bloody cold as well. Now this is nice. This really is. The Ruby Mild, as I say, if you want to do a mild or a bitter or something, you can't go far wrong with this beer. It's only, what, 4.6%? Oh, only 4.6. That's a bloody almost. What's fucking wife beater? That's about 5%, isn't it? The old Stella Artois. About 5%, and this is a mild. And okay, I changed a couple of bits here and there, but all in all, it's a bloody nice beer. Very fruity, clean. Add those additions, the salt additions, etc., the calcium chloride, the bicarbonate of soda, and all that, and the sulfuric acid. Wow, they've helped bring this beer to life, I will say. And it's holding its head. Look at that. It's holding its head wonderfully. Comes out with big. I did 30 psi for 3 minutes, just constant rocking with it attached still, and just rocked it, and it's come out wonderful just like that. I'm very happy. So people dying, aren't they? Just constantly at the minute. Famous people. I mean, if you know me on Facebook, you'll know I've always done a thing. I've done it since I first started Facebook. Really, was someone famous dies that relates to me from either my childhood or growing up, that had an effect on me or a cause for me to remember them, then yeah, I've changed my, when they die, I put them as my profile picture. And bloody hell, it's gone a bit ridiculous at the minute, hasn't it? People dying left, right. I mean, I know people are dying left, right, and centre. One I would want you to do today was one of my teachers. One of my old school teachers died today, which is a bit sad. I was at school with his son, his youngest son, and I don't even imagine he'd ever see this, but I'll say a toast. Grant, to your dad, Kenny. Cheers. He was a wonderful guy. Other than at school, I also see him at the theatre, because he was always picking up the wife from WADS, Amateur Dramatics. Lovely guy. Cheers. Used to have a chat with him at the bar quite often. Anyway, so back. Yeah, there's people dropping left, right, and centre, aren't they? It's getting a bit. Getting a bit much, isn't it? This has got to compare to 2016, hasn't it, for celebrity deaths? When you get to that end of the year, the end of the year for 2016, I'd already said this is going to be a bloody long one, and this year has got to be even. Yeah, 2016 was a lot of celebrities and that, of people who were affected my life and were part of my history and such. But this coming, I never had to then change profile pictures during the day to somebody else. That never happened. It was like, yeah, all right, yeah, someone died this week, someone died also during this week, but never during the same bloody day. And then this has happened a couple of times now, and it's getting a bit, wow, it's people are dropping left, right, and so. I'm saying that, but then I'm nearly 50 now, so I suppose it's got to that point where I'm looking at, as I say, it used to be when let me first start again. I used to get the Whitby Gazette, which is the local paper, and you used to check births, marriages, deaths. So you'd have that all in there. So I would be get into my 20s and I start looking at marriages. Get to my 30s, I start looking at births. And now I've started looking at deaths. You know, it's getting to that point where those people that did influence my life, my childhood, etc., are getting to an age where they will die. So that's getting a bit hectic with that within. And I suppose a lot of the people that'll watch this, maybe not so many, I don't know how many are of an age nearly 50, which is where I am. This really is chatting bollocks, so I've reached a point now where I'm not even talking about beer, I'm just talking about shit, aren't I? And this beast is down to still 16. It's gone up, it's hovering between 16.3 and 16.4. I'm hoping to get that done by Wednesday. I'm hoping, well, we're on Sunday, so Monday, Tuesday. Yeah, by Wednesday I should be. So for Homebrew Wednesday, I'm hoping to actually have a glass of that or a sample of that to try and just go, hey, this is what it is, and that's how it's tasting, because I don't know. Hey, do you know what? Actually, I'm going to pause a minute. I've got cheeky sample. I'm going to do a cheeky sample while I'm in here. Just bear with me. Get under. Should never do these things when you've had a few, should you? Oh, yeah. Right. There we go. Cheeky sample. Pulled properly. Not just with the sludge and everything. So this should be what it will be like. It looks good. It's got a good... Look at the coating on the... It's doing the coating of the glass, isn't it? I really like that. Smells bloody nice. Oh, yeah. It smells bloody nice. Chocolate and bourbon. Hint of fruit. Oh. I've been so excited since I had that fucking mango lassie. It's every taste. I'd be so disappointed with this, aren't I? But look at that, the way it coats the glass. You know, it's the way it just hugs the glass. That's almost impy-like, isn't it? Oh. Yeah. It's a bit disappointing in the taste because it's quite thin. You're not getting an impy. You're not getting an impy at all. But you're getting chocolate. Oh, I smell that chocolate. Yeah, chocolate with the cherry. This just needs a bit of time. Right, so we'll leave it at that. And thanks for watching if you bother to get this far. And I'll see you in the next one.